The movie begins on a cold, high-stakes note. A man plummets from the top of a building, crashing to his death. But this was no accident, and it certainly wasn't a suicide. This was the work of a professional. We are introduced to Victor Maynard, a middle-aged, unparalleled hitman who treats murder with the precision of a surgeon. He is a man of routine, heritage, and silence. However, Victor's life isn't as glamorous as it seems. His employer is cheap, so he got half of money paper. So after the mission, Victor's sitting at his table, meticulously taping together torn banknotes because his boss only paid him half the deposit up front. It's a sad, funny glimpse into the life of a man who is the best at what he does, but gets little respect for it. Victor is over 40, an age where most people in his line of work retire or end up dead. But he carries on. He receives his next assignment, tracks the target, and executes him with a silenced pistol. But as he turns to leave, a complication arises. A parrot. The bird witnessed the murder. Victor, not wanting to leave any witnesses, aims his gun at the bird. But just as he squeezes the trigger, the parrot squawks. "I love you." Startled and perhaps a bit lonely, Victor can't bring himself to kill it. He takes the bird home. This turns out to be a mistake. The bird has a foul mouth, learned from its previous owner. It whistles at women, and worst of all, whistles at Victor's domineering mother. Victor's mother, a terrifying woman who is arguably more dangerous than her son, gets annoyed by the bird's disrespect while Victor is away. By the time Victor returns, the parrot is dead. Obviously, his mother killed the bird. Victor comes from a long line of assassins, but deep down he yearns for something different, a life of freedom, not killing. In the next sense, we see Rose. Rose is a beautiful, free-spirited con artist who steals simply because she can. She rides her bicycle everywhere with a reckless attitude, weaving through traffic and show middle finger to car drivers and also ignoring the rules. She is so bold that she rides her bike straight into a museum, causing a distraction for the guards. Rose isn't just a petty thief. She has a big plan. She meets with a forger, a painter friend of hers, to pick up a masterpiece they have created. It's a fake Rembrandt. Rose transforms herself, donning a wig and a sophisticated persona, to meet Ferguson, a ruthless billionaire art collector. Rose is a smooth operator. She has already bribed the art authenticator, so when Ferguson asks if the painting is real, he gets a resounding yes. Ferguson pays £900,000 for the piece. The deal is done. Rose takes the money, throws it into her car, and speeds off, leaving Ferguson to admire his new treasure. In a moment of pure comedy, Ferguson, overwhelmed with pride, leans in to kiss his new masterpiece. When he pulls back, his nose is covered in wet paint. The painting is so fresh, it hasn't even dried yet. His pride turns to rage. He realizes he has been played. Ferguson immediately orders his bodyguards to find Rose, and he makes a call to the best hitman in the business, Victor Maynard. Victor takes the contract. To him, Rose is just another job. He tracks her down, following her every move. He waits for the perfect moment. He spots her entering a clothing store and slipping into a changing room. Victor, ever the professional, aims his silenced pistol at the curtain and fires. But it's not Rose. It's a dummy, or a reflection. He missed her entirely. Rose, oblivious, walks out of the shop and continues her day. Victor follows her to a restaurant, watching her and waiting for a clean shot, but the opportunity never comes. He follows her into the evening, tracking her to a hotel where she is staying. Victor rents the room directly opposite hers in the adjacent building, sets up a high-powered sniper rifle, ready to take her out through the window. Just as he lines up the shot, Rose turns off the lights. She is preparing to sleep with a young man she met at the hotel. Victor, unable to see, resorts to using a listening device to track her movements in the dark. He puts on his headphones, expecting to hear useful intel. Instead, all he hears are the sounds of passion, coming from Rose's room. Victor sits there in the dark, listening to his target have sex, looking completely defeated and awkward. The next morning, Victor tries again. He lines up his sniper scope as Rose leaves the hotel. But Rose is too erratic, moving too fast, can't get a lock. So Victor returns home, only to be berated by his mother. She questions his manhood and his skills, telling him he is shaming the family name. She orders him to go back out and finish the job. Victor finds Rose again, but this time, he isn't the only one. He sees another assassin in a parking garage. It's Mike's man, Ferguson's thug preparing to kill Rose. Victor is a professional. He doesn't like others interfering with his contract, and he certainly doesn't want to lose his payday. So, Victor decides to save Rose from Mike's man, so that he can be the one to kill her later. Victor intervenes, shooting at Ham. He yells at Rose to get into his car. Rose, thinking he is a savior, jumps in. Victor tries to shoot Rose inside the car, but chaos erupts. Mike is already in the car, so Mike tried to kill both Rose and Victor. But suddenly, a homeless drifter named Tony, who was sleeping nearby, gets caught in that case. Tony picks up a gun and accidentally shoots Mike, knocking him out. Tony are now thrown together. Victor wants to kill Mike, who is unconscious, to tie up loose ends. But Tony, who has never killed anyone, is horrified. Before Victor can finish the job, Rose intervenes. She is a master manipulator. She looks at Victor with big, grateful eyes, believing he is a private detective or a bodyguard. She steals the money satchel from Mike's man's dead body and offers to hire Victor to protect her. Victor, confused and suddenly finding himself in the role of a protector, agrees for the moment. They flee the scene, with Tony tagging along because he's terrified of the police. They decide to lay low at a luxury hotel. To minimize the paper trail, they book only one room. Victor is incredibly uncomfortable sharing a space with the chaotic Rose and the clueless Tony, but he has no choice. Unbeknownst to them, Ferguson the billionaire who wants them dead is staying in that exact same hotel. After a few days, the tension builds when Rose, in her careless nature, gets the room number wrong. She tries to open a door. It's Ferguson's room. She knocks. Victor spots her just in time and pulls her away before Ferguson opens the door. But it's a close call. Ferguson sees Victor in the hallway and realizes his hired hitman is now working with the target. Ferguson is furious. He realizes Victor has betrayed him. He calls in a new contract, hiring a ruthless, legendary assassin named Hector. Hector is a rival of Victor's, a man who enjoys the kill far too much. Meanwhile, Mike, having recovered from his gunshot wound, tracks them to the hotel room. He breaks in, expecting an easy kill. Instead, he finds Tony in the bathtub. Tony, flailing in panic, manages to wrestle the gun away and shoots Mike in the ear. Tony run away from hotel after that. The gunshot alerts Victor and Rose. They grab their bags and flee the hotel, with Mike and Ferguson's men in hot pursuit. A car chase ensues. Victor drives with precision, while Mike drives with rage. The chase ends when Mike loses control and crashes his car into a brick wall. Victor seizes the chance to escape to the one place he thinks is safe: his family, his country estate, his home. They arrive at Victor's home. It is a strange, cold place. All the furniture is covered in plastic sheets, preserving it like a museum. It reflects Victor's life preserved, untouched, and lifeless. Rose, being a kleptomaniac, immediately finds Victor's mother's wardrobe and steals a valuable heirloom. Back in the city, Hector is doing his homework. He investigates the forged painting and tracks down the forger. He kills the painter to cut off loose ends and gets the location of Victor's hideout. At the safe house, a strange dynamic forms. Victor and Rose start to bond. In a moment of intimacy, Victor gives Rose a foot massage. For a man who kills for a living, this act of tenderness is a massive step. Rose falls asleep, feeling safe. Later that night, Rose wakes up to the feeling of a hand stroking her face. She thinks it's Victor. She opens her eyes to see Victor's mother, sitting in a wheelchair, holding a knife. The mother tries to stab her. Rose screams and runs, escaping the room. Tony comes to her, but Victor's mother almost kills him. They finds Victor and yells that his mother is trying to kill them. Victor confronts his mother, but the old woman is stubborn. She grabs a shotgun and blasts a hole in the door. She tells Victor that if he won't kill the girl, she will. Victor finally snaps. He confesses to his mother that he doesn't want to be a killer anymore. He wants out. His mother refuses to accept this, disgusted by his weakness. And the next day, when Victor comes home, Rose and Tony celebrate his birthday party, and they all enjoy all the night, dancing and laughing. The next day, Victor wake up and carry Rose to her bedroom, and he now think of his colorless life. So he decided to remove the plastic covers from all his furnitures and make the room colorful. But while he is doing, Rose wanders into his private room. She opens a drawer, looking for jewelry to steal. Instead, she finds newspaper clippings of murder victims. She finds his custom pistols. She finds photos of herself with crosshairs on them. She realizes the truth. He isn't a bodyguard. He's the hitman hired to kill her. Rose packs her bags to flee. Victor and Tony, unaware that she knows the truth, try to surprise her with a birthday cake or a gesture of kindness. But Rose pulls Victor's gun on him. She reveals his identity to Tony, shouting that he is a killer. She steals their car and speeds away, heading back to the art gallery. Tony, confused, tries to act tough. He admits he is a real detective, but a failure. Victor tells him they are both in trouble. He begins to teach Tony how to assemble and fire a gun, but Tony is hopeless, fumbling with the weapon. Rose returns to the gallery, hoping to get help from her painter friend, only to find him dead. Hector is there waiting for her. He captures her and forces her to lead him to Victor. Hector arrives at the country house with Rose as a hostage. He lines up Victor, Rose, and Tony. He hands Victor a gun and tells him to kill Rose, proving he is a professional. Victor hesitates. Suddenly, Victor's mother wheels out and shoots Hector's henchman. Chaos erupts. In the confusion, Hector grins. He decides to kill Victor with Victor's own prized custom-made pistol. He aims at Victor's head. He pulls the trigger. Click bang. The gun backfires. Slide flies backwards, straight into Hector's face, killing him instantly. Victor had sabotaged the gun earlier, knowing someone might use it against him. They bury Hector and his bad guy in the garden. The threat is over. The movie jumps forward 3 years. See a beautiful idyllic scene. Victor and Rose are married, living happily in the house. They have a child together. The house is now full of life and color. Tony is there too, living with them as part of their strange, dysfunctional, happy family. The hitman has finally found his target, a life worth living, and the movie end. If you want to watch like these interesting movies, subscribe for more. Thanks for watching.